I was at CES last week, 5 days of CES, and this is 5 takeaways from 5 days at CES. Takeaway number one, innovation is stifled. You see a lot of different companies with a lot of different products there, more than ever, but what you don't see as much is innovation. A lot of these things are derivatives of the exact same thing, whether that's something that's already existed, a different way of doing it, a different way of branding. There are some unique software features that they've added to existing things, but for the large part, innovation is stifled and it's been redundant in terms of both products, redundant in terms of software, and redundant in terms of what visions are for these companies, both large and small. Takeaway number two, Shenzhen is caught up. Before, what you used to see is knockoff hardware products always. They look the same, they feel the same, they largely you can't tell the difference between that and the 5-6x priced version of it that was sold in the States. Nowadays, what you do see is largely they're competitive. The playing field has been leveled. The software that these companies are putting out from China is caught and sometimes is superior to the ones that you see in the market here. Govee is a great example. They're not necessarily a Shenzhen one, but there's a lot of different companies that are doing lighting, smart home, where their apps, their products behave better, more responsive than some of the American counterparts. And this doesn't apply just, to these fields, but it should be a wake-up call that really you can get knocked off easily. So if you have a product out there, and it makes branding so much more important, because if you're able to be knocked off right away, you can just have branding as your only differentiator. And we see this in fashion because fashion is a good A/B test of branding. Takeaway number three, autonomous all the things. In one area where we do have innovation is autonomous. Autonomous vehicles are, where the craze, but now what we have is autonomous lawnmowers, autonomous strollers, autonomous, pretty much anything that has wheels on it and moves around is autonomous. There was even a company out of France that was trying to do some variation of autonomous vehicles for snow vehicles. So anytime you see vehicles, they're trying to be autonomous. And some of these things are creative in terms of the vision elements, in terms of the algorithms. They're using the same algorithms. What's not creative as much is the novelty of having something be autonomous. That's just taken as a given. So that's not going to be a novelty that really differentiates you from anyone else. Takeaway number four, prompt engineering is a real thing. So there much is made of this term prompt engineering. Sometimes people say, okay, it's just a thing, but there is an art to writing better prompts and there is a science to writing better prompts. And in an AI-driven world where all these engineers I've talked to are either using ChatGPT, using GitHub Copilot, using other tools in order to help them kind of write their code and function with their day-to-day life, we need a better way of engineering prompts. And those who can make better prompts and really use AI are going to be ahead of it. And that's both companies, individuals, and really countries too. So being able to teach this skill is going to be very valuable going forward. And it's going to save a lot of jobs, because if you're someone who can't adapt to this new trend, you're going to be left behind. Takeaway number five, regarding relationships. So this is a unique one because it's not really necessarily related to tech, but a lot of people who were there at CES with a lot of money had kind of similar teachings where if you're someone who has grown up maybe with not a lot of liquidity and has the ability to get liquid through, an event, and you have someone who has been beside you before the fact, you want to cherish and kind of hang on to that person because they were with you before. And the intentions of people who come after when you do get liquid might not be the same or what you desire, even though there might be, more desirable in a traditional or conventional sense. So there you have it, 5 takeaways from 5 days at CES. And I hope to come back next year. I was fortunate to go along with VoltSafe this year, and VoltSafe is one of the companies that is really innovating, so super excited for what we have coming forward.